Hello, welcome to Three at the Back, episode 3. I'm Ben Kelly. I'm with Joe Halloran and Jonathan Metcalfe, as usual.
Hello.
Hello.
We've had a week off, very relaxing 7 days. We've got plenty to talk about, but we will be sort of drawing a line over the stuff that we've missed. So we're not discussing week 9 games of the Premier League and the EFL Cup. We'll just be discussing this weekend's games just gone, and then looking forward to the games this week. So we'll start with you, Joe. Friday night, away win at QPR. Brentford with a comfortable. What did you make of it?
Well, it was a fantastic game, I'd say. It was very pleasing after a run, not a great run. I think 2 losses and 2 draws. It was quite refreshing. I was a bit scared to see where we'd go this season, but if we win the next game now, we can go into the playoffs again. But it was a bit shaky.
Well, it's all tight, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's a bit more promising. I thought we might have been completely out of the race. It was much sort of like Man City's form, really, sort of that sort of situation where they haven't won for a while, and now this win is a bit more promising because where you won now, you are
comfortably. But we'll get onto that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to compare.
That would have been a good transition.
Yeah, it would have actually. Our 3 attacking players were quite fantastic. The 3 midfielders.
You've got this young guy on the right,
Josh Clark,
yeah.
who is making their left back look like an absolute mug.
Like a mug, wasn't it?
He was doing all twists and turns. It was unbelievable. And then on the left, Romain Sawyers. Have you seen the second goal?
No, I've not, but I've heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a crosser first time. Boom, top left corner. The commentators were absolutely buzzing on Sky Sports. It was lovely to see. Scott Hogan didn't get a goal, which is a bit of a shame, but we move on, don't we?
Well, you do, and it puts you 10th, but like I say, it is tight. You're only 2 points off the playoffs, and next up you go to Fulham, which another Friday night game.
Exactly.
Which you just thought
I'm
famous,
yeah.
world famous.
You never expect it, would you?
We'll get onto that later. So first win in 5 games with Brentford, which is
lovely. Lovely. Yeah. If we keep on going, because QPR, as much as they're not particularly in form, they are a big team in the Championship essentially, a lot of money. So it's obviously a rival as well. So it's nice to get a win against them.
Good. Anything else you'd like to pitch in there?
It was pretty much even game really overall. If you look at the stats, it was similar shots, similar possession. We dominated the first half, but the second half they seemed to get back into it really.
You did. We all watched on a tiny phone.
We did.
It's tiny, huddling around a tiny phone.
You could only make out so much when it's on a phone screen.
But you could make out Josh Clark making their defence look like a mug.
You could see that from space, mate.
So yeah, that's all I have to say. Happy, not depressed, like last episode against Newcastle.
Barnsley as well.
Well, we'll forget about those results. We're in a comfortable position, and if we do win against Fulham, I'll be absolutely buzzing.
Well, if you win against Fulham, you put yourself,
I think it's
4 points ahead of them.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've all got to play, so
yeah,
you
exactly.
still.
We don't know what I'm going to be, but hopefully we'll be around 6th, 7th place.
You're in the mix.
Crack on from there. Buzzing. Playoffs.
John, you went away to Manchester City. No, you didn't. Manchester City were away to West Brom.
This is true.
And comfortably.
FIFA Manchester City versus Manchester City.
Comfortable 4-0. Although Paul Merson, I did watch although Paul Merson doesn't know what he's talking about half the time. Paul Merson did feel that it was slightly harsh on West Brom.
Yeah, I think it was, to be fair.
But it's what good teams do. It's what good teams do. You go away and you get the goals. So what did you make of it?
It was good to get the goals because it's something we've been struggling to do in recent games, especially in the Premier League. Southampton last weekend was in particular. But yeah, it was good to see us play the football we'd been playing at the start of the season. Passing exercises, brilliant passing, accurate passing, making inroads, using Aguero effectively. It was akin to what we saw at the start of the season before we got Brendan. No, it was
proper knocked you off track, that didn't it?
He did. He really did.
Really did.
But West Brom, I feel, didn't didn't pressure us enough. And if there's one thing I've learned about our team in the past few weeks is that when teams pressure us, we're not very comfortable on the ball.
You had a lot of possession.
We had a lot of possession because they weren't.
You had 69.9%.
They weren't pushing us up the field. We just
Aguero
passed
well,
it about.
Played
very well.
Aguero
got a decent goal. That
second one.
Second
yeah,
one.
the curler.
It was like Diego Costa the other
It
day.
was lovely.
It was so good. Yeah, it's good to see him scoring again. Needs, after all this media talk about Pep letting him go.
Yeah, wasn't he linked?
Rubbish.
Was he linked to some?
He was
linked to Liverpool. He was linked to Liverpool. That slow news day where it was like,
I know.
Aguero could go to Liverpool. They just like have a hat and they have
a name
transfer rumours, name, team, and they make transfer rumours on day like this, like the Daily Mail. Neymar to
PSG for
Burton Albion. What's the fee?
I'd take Aguero at Liverpool, obviously.
Well, would you? I'm joking.
I don't know.
Daniel Sturridge.
Well,
swap you for Daniel Sturridge.
He's playing well recently.
Divock
Don't
Origi.
knock Daniel. He scored 2 good
I'd
goals.
still swap him for Sergio Aguero. It doesn't
yeah.
matter how well he's playing.
I don't know. I'd probably stay Scott Hogan over Aguero.
Would you?
No.
Yeah.
Scott Hogan had a nightmare on Friday.
I'm
Missed some real chances.
Well, yeah, no, but still 1-0.
It's not like Scotty, that. It's
Yeah,
not like our
he
Scotty.
wasn't very cultured in front of goal. I will say, it was scary from him, but he'll get back into it. Don't you worry.
Going forward, John,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think that's going to do to help morale and build on for the rest of the season?
That's what it does, doesn't it? It just helps morale. It's good going into a game like Barcelona tomorrow night, which we'll come on to in a minute.
Do you think it?
I'm going to do these transitions too early.
Do you think it just sort of sends a message out to the rest of the league, just to sort of say, hey, we are still the best?
Well, I think,
because obviously, you're still top of the league.
Yeah.
And everybody was sort of forgetting that over the last 5 games.
Despite the last 5 games, I still think we'd given a message. We said we're still here. We're having a rough patch.
He's definitely still favourites of the league.
I'd say so.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, performances like that every day of the week. But like I said, I've learned that when teams pressure you, when teams pressure us, things get a little bit more uncomfortable at the back, especially. That's what Celtic did. That's what Tottenham did. That's what Southampton did.
But that's the way teams are playing now.
Well, yeah.
That's the
Since
way
Leicester won
everybody's
the
trying.
league.
Yeah.
Small teams
But at the
pressuring.
start of the season, this didn't happen. Teams like Bournemouth just sat back like West Brom did and just let us have the ball. And when we have the ball, when we have no pressure, we can pass it about every day of the week. That's what we've been doing for the past.
There are teams like that, like your West Broms, and not so much Bournemouth. They're sort of making more impressive.
Burnley are definitely a team who sit back.
Burnley are.
That worked for them, though.
Palace were on Saturday night, which we'll get onto. But it just allows the team. They come and play for a draw, whether they're home or away. And once they go behind, they're always going to struggle because then they've got to come out and try and find a goal, and then there's more space and things like that. So games like West Brom, Liverpool had it the other week, where in Anfield, where West Brom arrived playing for a draw, and as soon as you go a goal ahead, you find yourself having a much easier afternoon. And I think that's what happened. Well, you 2-0 up at half time.
Yeah.
And then from there, as a Liverpool fan, I was watching Soccer Saturday, and after half an hour, you're 2-0 up. I go, game over.
Exactly.
You go. Well, that's it. Then I turn over. It was on telly because it's just game over. But obviously, in terms of 3 points, it's a nice feeling to have.
It is finally finally going to win. Yeah.
Pep, he must be.
Well, he'll be happy to an extent. He'll still see there's room for improvement.
Well, yeah, definitely.
They were 4-0 up, and he was there on the sideline again, just pulling over Fernandinho, giving him instructions with about 2 minutes left.
You'll probably feel a bit
asking for more.
You probably feel less pressure now.
Because
he needed those 3 points, didn't he?
Yeah,
people were banging on about his
video
style and things like that, and he'll kind of be like,
on the
replays,
it
works.
When Aguero scored the first goal, it was from the back of the pitch, and you saw it go in, and in front you saw Otamendi and Fernandinho just punch their arms in utter relief. Yeah. Fernandinho just jumped up, Otamendi punched the air. It was very relieving.
What improvements would you make in January to your team? Does it need any or not?
Well, I say this every transfer window, but centre back.
Yeah.
I mean,
you just got John Stones.
Yeah, we did, but I still think. Obviously, there's still some improvement there.
John Stones to just
leaking goal, giving away. I don't think it's so much the centre backs and the quality of those centre backs. It's how they play the ball. passing out from the back, because that's where we've been leaking goals, giving them away. That goal against Southampton the other weekend, Stones just lackadaisical back pass. In most cases, this passing out from the back has been working, but when it comes under scrutiny, which it has, they feel more pressure when they're on the ball, when they're being pressured by the team in front of them, and they just need to get that nailed down and not give the ball away so easily, which will lead to goals.
Just need more defensive training, essentially, rather than actually go out and spend 50 million on a centre-back.
More confidence on the ball, I think, at the back.
Get a coach in.
Well, Pep can do it.
Richard
just
Dunn.
fine, but
I bet Richard Dunn.
Richard Dunn.
He's finished with his pies.
Yeah. Sorted. Get him as a coach.
We'll move on to Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 4, which was quite possibly the craziest first half of football we've seen all season. It is difficult because the defensive problems we've got, bizarrely, I still have a confidence that we'll go and we'll just score another goal.
Well, yeah.
It is really strange. I'm sat there and we go 1-0 up, and then it's 1-1 from Lovren's mistake, and then it goes 2-1 and it's 2-2, and even at 2-2, my dad's pretty deflated, but I'm sort of sat there going, I'm still 100% confident. I mean, not 100%. I'm still 95% confident that we're going to go and win this game because of the pace that we've got up front. I feel like Coutinho was absolutely outstanding on Saturday night. He made 3 assists. But some of the football that we played was just some of the best football we played all season. And I think it's a strange confidence that I have, and it's a confidence that I don't feel very often. A little bit during the 2014 season, where we were going out in the second half of the season and winning practically every game. But it's a really strange confidence that I have that I just feel like we're going to win them all, and we won't. Obviously, we won't. There's a nice run. There's a nice run coming up until the end of December, where it's so possible that we can go and get maximum points just because we'll just blitz any defence out the way because of the Coutinho playing behind Firmino and then Mane and Lallana, and we just blitz them, and it's really impressive to watch. So even though the defensive problem, the defence is a problem, but it is silly errors. The Dejan Lovren error is obviously an error in its own right. Their second goal, there's not much wrong with it. It's just a good ball and a good header, So you take those goals away, it's still a strong scoreline, obviously at 2-4. But to go and score 4 goals away from home, like you did at the weekend as well, it's a good feeling. It's a positive feeling, and we're in touch with the top after this tough start, and now we've got a nice run. And it's just every win, it's a massive win. That every win is installing more confidence into the side that we can go and do something.
Does it worry that your keeper can't really keep a clean sheet?
You've got at the weekend it didn't. At the weekend it didn't because the first one was a massive error that he couldn't do anything about, and the second one was, like I say, really, it was just a good goal. It was a good ball in that maybe could have been dealt with better, but it was a fantastic header if you look at it, because he sort of gets like a good curl on it. It goes in right in the top corner. There is a bit of questioning around Loris Karius at the moment, but he's young, he's new to the Premier League. David De Gea went through the same teething problems. So, you've got to give him a chance. For me, Simon Mignolet's had his chance over the last 3 seasons, and he hasn't really improved in terms of commanding his area, coming out for crosses. Since he arrived at Liverpool, he hasn't really improved with that. It's a fantastic shot stopper, Simon Mignolet, in terms of one-on-ones, making a save. But in terms of giving commands to his back 4, coming out and claiming balls at corners, Simon Mignolet over the last 3 years hasn't really improved for me. So it's now time to give somebody else a chance, which is fine. We brought this young lad in, and he's having similar problems. But, it's something that every keeper has got to go through, transition into a new league. I think, you've got to say that the quality of the Premier League is probably a level above the Bundesliga, really, in terms of...
Oh, definitely.
Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. All the other teams are lower Premier League standard.
Or Red Bull Leipzig in the case at the moment.
Are they top?
Second.
Are they second?
Really?
A couple of points behind Bayern Munich. Apparently the most hated club in Germany for reasons.
Lovely. So sort of like Man City.
Ah!
Hey. Anyway.
So
I don't think as far as I've ever sort of followed football, Liverpool's had a good goalkeeper. Not like, when...
No. You'd have to say Reina.
Reina when Rafa was there.
Reina went, yeah, and then
the early years of Rafa, not the latter years.
Jersey Dudek was a bit of a liability, but he had that game in Istanbul and nobody really cared about it. But then, I think Pepe Reina was on his day. In his peak,
in
one
his
of the best
latter years, he
goalkeepers
was pretty dodgy.
Oh, he was, I know, yeah, but sort of the 2006 to 2009 era, when he was in goal consistently, I think he was probably one of the best goalkeepers in the league. But yeah, Simon Mignolet is good in some aspects, but yeah, for me, I think it's definitely time to replace him.
Fresh blood.
And what's good about Karius is, and the reason I do kind of believe that he's going to turn into a top keeper is he's so self-confident. If you look at his social media and things like that, he's so like pumped for all the games and we're definitely going to win and all this. He has such big self-belief, which is what you need as a goalkeeper. Particularly if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. So as fans, I think everybody's just sort of giving him time. Fortunately, he's young and he's going to develop with Klopp and coaches at the at Melwood or whatever. But the attack's the thing that we're getting excited about, and we could have had many more goals on Saturday. So the question is, John, even with Aguero, do we have the best attack in the league?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd say you do.
I'm blushing.
No, I really think you do. Just your attack is so.
To be fair, us and you have actually scored the joint most amount of goals, and we've conceded 4 more than you have. So in terms of a bad defence,
your attack just seems more clinical though. You break down packed defences a lot better than we do. Once we get a couple, then teams come out and we're all over them. We score a few more. There's been times this season, multiple games where we've been 2-0 up, we concede, and then suddenly we score one more and then we score another.
When do you two play each other?
December 31st.
Well, that'll be nice.
That'll
be good to see who wins that game. You've just got ultimate pace up front.
I think
that you can
I know.
You can make,
and that's what Liverpool have lacked for years.
Yeah, you can make fullbacks look like absolute mugs with that pace.
Like Josh Clark.
Just like Josh Clark.
Just like Josh Clark on Friday night, he was absolutely outstanding. I have a feeling that by New Year's Eve, with the run that Liverpool have and the run that City have, you play Chelsea early December.
You'll probably be top.
I have a feeling that by then it's going to be us and you. Maybe
Chelsea are coming good.
I think
Chelsea
Arsenal playing very well.
Arsenal being overlooked. Yeah,
Arsenal are being overlooked. I think, but Chelsea are playing incredibly well. Chelsea are 4 unbeaten, 4 clean sheets.
Tottenham a good team. There's just loads. You can't.
I'd say this is probably one of the most competitive. We say this every year, I think, but this is the most competitive.
I'm not sure it'll really stretch out into a 2-horse race this year.
We will move on to. Why don't we move on to the special one and his band of clowns?
Oh,
who drew at home to Burnley at the weekend.
Even I'm not going to these extents just yet.
Oh, so what's the problem at Man United, Joe?
I don't think there is one.
I
told you I had something controversial to say. I told you. Did you watch the Burnley versus Man United game?
I did.
I thought
they couldn't score.
I thought they played very well.
They did.
I thought Pogba, Mata, Zlatan, and Rashford were linking up. United played football that I've not seen them play since Fergie left.
Yeah, but they couldn't score in a brothel with 200 quid in the pocket.
You conceded 2 against Burnley, didn't score. Sometimes Burnley had 5, 6 men on the line, just on the goal line, trying to stop. It was like that game at the Soccer Dome where you all used to like link arms and stand on the goal line to try and score. It was ridiculous. You see like that Zlatan volley. There was like 5 people on the line, and he hit it so hard he injured Tom Heaton.
But they missed some chances though, didn't they?
Save.
They missed some chances.
They
sitter at the end.
Should have won by about 4.
They should have won about.
I don't think the issue is particularly Jose Mourinho, because quite clearly they were playing well. They just couldn't score on this occasion.
I just think Burnley had a great defence. You suffered from the great defence. Watford suffered from the great defence.
I don't think this game really tells us about the rest of Manchester United's season. I don't think there's any correlation. I think just on Saturday they just couldn't score.
Do you want to see some statistics?
Go on.
Oh, go on.
Well, not statistics. Facts. In the 14 to
Talking
15
about
season, in the 14 to 15th season, Man United were 10th with 2 less points than they have now. They finished 4th that season. In the 13 to 14th season, Man City were 7th in the league, and we all know what happened that season, Ben, don't we?
We do. But what I will
A
say
bad
is,
start doesn't mean.
but what I will say is, no matter how much you dominate, the confidence that I have, and I'm sure the confidence that John has, I think Liverpool and Man City will have found a goal in that game. I think if that's Zlatan's chance at the end where he sliced it over the bar, if that
2-0
if
to
that
Burnley.
comes if that I know but
that comes to
you can't
Aguero.
if that comes to Aguero, if that comes to Firmino,
I'm sorry,
in.
that's been buried. I'm sorry. He was a good striker, but
And you can say Liverpool lost 2-0 to Burnley, but we're unbeaten since in all competitions, so I think we've proved that that's just a blip.
yeah.
And I think for me, if we were at home to Burnley and we were dominating that to that extent, I'm completely confident that Liverpool would have found a goal.
All I'm saying is, don't write them off.
The other stat that I found was, Joe,
No.
was at this stage last season, I believe Chelsea were on 15 points and United were on 22, and now it's the exact opposite way around this year.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Which is yeah, it's spooky. Which is
Happy Halloween.
obviously
A time of recording.
which is obviously it could be the teams, but it's Jose Mourinho. He's moved from club to club, and they've swapped positions. And while Antonio Conte is doing a great job, I would think the problem that United have is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think he's struggling. He's underestimated the Premier League. He had a good start, and now he's struggling. And now for me, you could argue Rooney's a massive name to drop. Jose's going to struggle to drop him because he's such a big name and he's got such a big ego. And if you start Marcus Rashford up front, a 19-year-old ahead of Zlatan,
I honestly think that they should start Marcus Rashford.
I do. I would if I was him.
Imagine Zlatan. What ego that he has.
Yeah,
He gets replaced by a 19-year-old. Him and Jose start having words. That's two very abrasive egos.
They've always
You
been
don't
good
want that
friends,
kind
to
of
be
thing.
fair.
When at the moment they're not playing spectacularly well, they're struggling. The last thing you want is egos rubbing up against each other and causing disharmony. He's kind of got to start Ibrahimovic.
I do think Mourinho's ego is part of the problem as well. I do believe there is a problem.
I despise the man. He's a good manager.
He's a
just
good manager, but
He's just not what he's always had an ego, obviously. Once he arrived from Porto,
Calls himself the special.
he calls himself the special one, but he was always, a guy who was joking in front of the press. He was always, quite a relatively nice man. But then, sort of when he came back to Chelsea the second time, that season there was a couple of incidents where he got a couple of charges for referees, and do you remember that interview where he's like, I cannot speak. I do not speak. I don't want to say anything.
no.
Because if I speak, I'm in trouble.
No.
He got sent to the stands on Saturday, which is obviously again. He just doesn't help himself with his comments and what he does on the touchline and in the media before games. Ahead of the Liverpool Man United game, he made comments about the referee, Anthony Taylor. And it just doesn't help himself. He just leaves himself open to criticism. The whole thing with the doctor happened at Chelsea, that Eva Carneiro, where I believe that's where he lost the dressing room, and that's why Chelsea struggled last season. His whole approach to the media. He's probably sick of the media badgering him and trying to catch him out, but his whole approach to the media just stinks, and therefore people, I think people end up liking Man United less, the people who do like them, because of the egos that are there in Zlatan and Mourinho, and you end up kind of you wanting Mourinho to lose. I want Man United to lose more this season because I don't like Mourinho. It's just a whole little bubble of hate that I have in my mind where I go, oh God, thank God Man United have lost. Oh, and Mourinho will be unhappy as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, but we'll move on. We'll just touch upon this because it was news that came up last week. The news that Steven Gerrard was
You got
leaving.
excited about it, so you thought you'd talk about it.
A little bit, yeah. but upon further sort of in-depth thoughts, what do we think about the prospect of Steven Gerrard returning back to Liverpool?
you've put a good idea as a coach. It's definitely a better idea as a coach. There's no point in coming back because he's just not good enough.
Remember that farewell they gave him when he did like
a speech and everything.
Yeah,
and then
he comes back next year. He's like, "You alright, guys?
Yeah.
I'm back again."
To be
thought
honest,
you were saying goodbye to me, but I just decided I'll have a holiday.
Too hot in America.
I'll just have a holiday in LA.
Back to the streets of Liverpool.
To be fair, the negotiations that are taking place are happening now. That seems very quick as a player to be coming to the. I think he'd be better off coming back as a coach. But if he was going to come back as a coach, it just seems a bit strange that he's having these talks now. I would be, if I was a player and I was about to retire from my player career, I'd want a bit of a break and do what I want, things like that. The fact that these talks are taking place now says to me that they're on about him coming back as a player, which I don't think's the best idea. It'd be good to have in the dressing room and things like that, but he's maybe playing in a few cup games against non-league sides in the FA Cup, the early rounds.
What they should be doing with Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. But it just seems a bit strange that he hasn't even left LA Galaxy yet. The season isn't over. Are they in the playoffs, LA Galaxy?
Yeah, December it finishes.
Yeah. So it's going to finish in December. If he was going to leave LA Galaxy and stop playing now, he was going to retire as a player. You'd want a break. That's what it says.
He lives and breathes football, Steven Gerrard. Though I don't think he'd want a break.
It just seems strange that he's gonna pack up his life in LA and just move straight back to Liverpool and get into
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a big change. People do that.
I suppose it happens. It just seems a bit strange to me that he would just completely go into coaching just right away.
He just wanted a holiday. Leave him alone. He had a nice holiday in LA.
Bit of a kickabout every week in the MLS.
Did he play well in the MLS or just like
average? I think he was average. He
struggled. Started on the bench last night. I don't know if they won. I know they.
He was overall struggling. I think
when they're like one of these designated, when they're one of the designated like high-paid players, it's a bit harsh.
Maybe that's a sign that he's.
A lot of people who move over to MLS do struggle.
Frank Lampard isn't.
Frank Lampard's flying. He didn't play last night.
Lampard is absolutely.
And they
fantastic.
paid the price. New York City lost 2-0 last night. In the first leg away to Toronto. But when he plays, Frank Lampard, he's been superb.
He's scoring practically every game.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know where they're playing him. Pirlo, he's sitting in and he's probably just doing his job.
Pirlo's been Pirlo. He didn't play as well.
Hoovering up the messes at the back and just.
No, the Lampard or Pirlo played last night and they lost 2-0.
What about David Villa?
David Villa's just firing them in.
I know.
He was about 2 goals off winning the golden boot. But unfortunately got beaten to it by Bradley Wright Phillips. Sean Wright Phillips, his brother.
Legend.
So,
Plymouth
MLS,
legend.
ladies and gentlemen. David Villa was beaten to the golden boot by Bradley Wright Phillips. And that's all you need to know, isn't it? That's all you need to know.
We'll move on. Again.
How did we get to there?
Steven Gerrard, MLS, Bradley Wright Phillips.
Do we need to write it out to you?
Isn't it obvious?
Next point of conversation, Bradley Wright Phillips' future.
Isn't Bradley Wright Phillips the first thing that you think of when you think of the MLS?
He's a golden boot, and he should be. Best player in the league.
We'll move on to the more news that came out last week, which is the Ballon d'Or shortlist. The award is given sort of late December. So there was a 30-man, 40-man? 30
I think.
30-man shortlist, which didn't include Jordan Henderson, which everybody was really angry about because Jordan Henderson really deserves that award.
It's disgraceful.
FIFA
is corrupt.
You have frauds on there like Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero, but we can't have Jordan Henderson.
I don't know why Bradley Wright Phillips isn't on there.
Why is it Bradley Wright Phillips?
A golden boot winner in a major league.
It's that major. It says it
in the name. It's not minor league soccer, it's a bit to the side. It's major league soccer.
Pretty good league soccer.
Bang average league soccer.
That's the only league soccer, because that's the only place that calls it soccer. So
soccer.
Soccer.
It's major's just a word. It's just
it's major.
It's like calling it the major.
Well, they have to big everything up. Everything has to be Hollywood.
National.
There are some interesting names on this list, I've got to say. Some some kind of odd one. Pepe is on there. Real Madrid. Pepe.
Did he even start?
I don't know. But do you think they have to have a certain amount of goalkeepers, defenders, midfield? Do you reckon they have to have that, or is it just purely on
I think they
who's
want to
played
stick
well?
some in, but
I think
there's
there'd be
rules.
questions if they didn't, but
Because obviously
I don't think that's
the
a
sort of
need.
controversy around it is, for me, Alexis Sanchez should be on that list, and he isn't. Maybe not. I don't know about Ozil. He's a good player, but he's still inconsistent.
Sanchez
in the Premier
won the
League.
Copa America.
Yeah.
That's why people.
So
go mental.
so Sanchez should be on there. Whereas players like Koke at Atletico Madrid, Rui Patricio at Sporting Lisbon.
So I think Ozil should be on that list. If
Ozil. Okay, we'll put
players
Ozil. Diego Godin at Atletico Madrid. They just don't seem. Thomas Muller, would you have him in your team ahead of Alexis Sanchez? I don't know. There's some interesting names, but there's also some top names as what you'd expect. Let Jamie Vardy's on there.
That's good. I'm
That's
happy for him.
fantastic.
Jamie
Yeah,
Vardy and Riyad Mahrez, who Riyad Mahrez is actually one of the leading names in the polls at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's up there with.
Really?
Yeah. He did have a fantastic season.
Great
season.
He's not had the
Come
greatest
on.
season this season.
Messi had a better season. Suarez had a better season.
They're just not. They're just nowhere near the level of the top three, are they?
Well, no.
No,
Nobody
is
is.
anyone? Is anyone?
Neymar's the closest it comes, and even then, you don't hear.
No, of course not.
So
who's your bets for winners? Should we go on for that one?
I want it to be Suarez.
Let's go. Who do you want? Who do you think?
Suarez. I want it to be Suarez, but it will be Messi for me.
I want it to be Messi, but I think it will be Ronaldo.
I agree with Joe. I want it to be Messi. I think it'll be Ronaldo.
It's
for the Euros.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
Euros and Champions League. And,
Messi and Ronaldo have
point.
never won.
I forgot Real Madrid won the Champions League actually.
and now Barcelona are currently struggling pretty badly.
They beat you
About
didn't they?
fourth.
We'll
Which
get
we'll get on to.
We'll get on to that
second.
in a minute.
Hey. But yeah, I think because Ronaldo's Champions League and Major League tournament, I've put
Major League tournament.
Major.
It's just on you. Bradley Wright Phillips is just on your mind.
He's molesting
I've done
brain.
it. Planted the seed.
But Luis Suarez, I've got to say, has had an incredible year in terms of stats.
When do FIFA ever look at stats?
Well,
they just go.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ronaldo's wearing a nice suit.
He's played. He played 49 games for Barcelona last season and scored 53 goals. That's ridiculous.
It's a fair amount of goals.
The 2015-16 season, he played 49 games and scored 53 goals.
I mean, Bradley Wright Phillips this season only managed about 22.
Shut up about
And
Bradley Wright Phillips.
won the Golden Boot. Like,
Scott
that just
Hogan last
shows,
season
if you
scored
put it in
7
context.
7 and 7.
Exactly.
Oh, why isn't he on this
77.
list?
I was asking exactly the same.
Gareth Bale is now earning £600,000 a week at Real Madrid, but I'd definitely have Scotty Hogan over him. You don't think?
No one can make
I love him over
fullbacks
Thomas
look like
Muller.
mugs like Josh Clark.
Who is Thomas Muller?
Neymar's got nothing on Josh Clark's
Yeah.
tricks.
Absolutely nothing. Boxer
Nothing.
tricks.
Nothing.
You'd have Josh Clark at Liverpool, don't even lie. Just as a bench.
What,
player.
ahead of Sadio Mane?
No, just as a bench player.
It's the bench player. I don't know. We've got a pretty strong bench. Our bench on Saturday, even at 3-2 up, we had the options of that Marco Grujic, who's a decent player, Divock Origi, Daniel Sturridge, and Wijnaldum all to come on. And I was like, that's a pretty good squad depth. That I was pretty impressed. And then Wijnaldum came on, and I think Origi came on late, and Lucas came on to tie things up. But a lot of Liverpool fans were moaning about Philip Coutinho not being on the list.
Yeah, alright. But
I personally don't agree. I think
it's just last season he wasn't.
he's very. He's had a fantastic start to the season. I
Yeah.
think if he carries on, in a year's time, he could be on the list. But he's inconsistent. He's in and out of games. He's some games he's invisible, and some games he's a bit like Ross Barkley we were talking last week. Not to that extent.
Yeah.
But some games he's invisible, and some games he's fantastic. On Saturday night he was fantastic, but in some games he just doesn't do enough. And I think in a year's time we'll be looking at a different story. But a lot of Liverpool fans were moaning because no Liverpool players are on here. But we're not going to be a good enough team for me. We've not got a clear standout player he's nowhere near winning it, Philip Coutinho. So what's the point in having him on the list? So
You could say the same thing about a lot of them.
well, no, I think Sergio Aguero.
Well, yeah, but there's someone there that
Sergio
You
Aguero.
could say the same thing about they're
Yeah.
nowhere near winning it, but they're on it.
Pepe.
Pepe.
I think really Ballon d'Or, you should just see getting on the shortlist as an achievement.
As
And
achievement.
then the actual final result, no one cares about because
Dimitri Payet on it. Dimitri Payet. I
Played
don't,
amazing
I
last
don't
season.
like Payet. Something about him, I just don't like him.
Well,
I like his free kicks, but that's as far as it goes.
okay.
I like your free kicks.
I like your free kicks, son. They're absolutely fantastic.
I like your free kicks.
Should we go into the build-up?
Should we move on to the big game tomorrow night? We're recording on a Monday because Manchester City play Barcelona tomorrow night, and we thought that build up to that game would be much better than reaction to Swansea versus Stoke, which is the riveting game in the Premier League tonight. So we thought we won't discuss that. We'll discuss Manchester City versus Barcelona in the Champions League. Do you think we should expect an improvement over the last game, John?
Yes. Yes. Let's be
You
honest.
can't do much worse, can you? But, you know.
Oh, you can. But no, there should be an improvement. I expect there to be an improvement. I really do think there'll be an
Pretty
improvement.
well
Must
expect there to
be.
be an improvement, yeah.
Getting it into them.
Yeah, but like
Can't do that
I
again.
say, the win against West Brom. Imagine going into this game after losing or drawing to West Brom away. It would be a completely different context. Now there's a little bit of confidence that.
We beat West Brom.
Especially after
We're up to the challenge,
Is
lads.
it?
No, but
Is
you
that
know,
the
you know what I
Etihad?
mean. Yeah,
Is
it's
that
at
the
the Etihad.
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna win?
He's quietly confident, I think, because I remember talking.
Yeah, I think
to
I
him.
am. I think I am
I
quite
remember
confident.
talking to him
I
to the night.
disagree.
I don't know.
You'd expect Barcelona to win. Let's be honest. Especially
I
after
remember talking to
4-0,
him.
but-
Barcelona, Man City didn't play awfully at the. We discussed that on the last episode. Man City didn't play awfully against Barcelona at the new camp. They shot themselves in the foot 4 times. Which is essentially what happened.
Yeah.
Claudio Bravo was really the architect of the main downfall. But the first goal was a slip. One of the
That
goals
was
was
just
a
unfortunate.
Gundogan pass pack that was short, and then one of the goals was a penalty. You know, so they're all.
They missed the penalty, but.
Oh
but
yeah, it
I
was.
think
It missed
once,
the penalty.
once
yeah,
Bravo,
sorry.
Bravo got sent off, the collapse was
Yeah.
Is
there
he-
on,
is-
and there was
is-
just awful defending. No,
Are you playing Willie Caballero?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well,
Caballero.
obviously
I don't
after,
think
but-
Caballero's not been awful. You know, I don't think he'll do anything to the extent that Bravo does. I never thought I'd say that. You know, I think I'd rather have Caballero in net for this game than I would Bravo.
Would you rather have Caballero in net full time?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think
Fair
so.
enough. Yeah.
Aguero didn't start the new camp. Surely he makes a start here. Surely.
Yeah, he should do.
After
I
those two
think
goals.
After those two.
I don't know though. Pep's a tactician. He didn't drop him from the team to.
Wasn't tactically aware against.
He will-
Barcelona
Well, no,
the first
because
time.
because the tactics were working until Bravo got sent off, and then they all went. Oh, it all went
He
tits
will
up.
be.
Everything went out the window. But he might not start him.
He
I
will
don't know.
be ridiculously criticised, Pep Guardiola, if he doesn't start Aguero again and gets beaten again.
What was
Because
that?
he
if you
won't
don't
care.
learn from your mistakes, then
But he won't see them as mistakes. He'll see them as tactics. He doesn't see it. He's not dropping Aguero
for
on
me,
personal
you
reasons.
cannot
Tactically, he's
not
played
start
De
Aguero in
Bruyne.
this game.
I don't think you can't. But I'm not him. And
What does
he's
that do for Aguero's
He's a
morale?
maniac in terms of.
Scoring
That's
2
tactics.
goals and being dropped.
That's a good point.
That he must be like,
Exa-
what do I do to get into this team now?
I
And then he
just-
goes, oh, let's go to
I
Liverpool.
said I don't think he should be, but he could be. You should keep your eyes open for it possibly happening. I don't know what Pep's going to want. I don't know what he's expecting. I don't know how he's going to set up. I don't know how he's going to play.
Score predictions?
Score predictions. Go on, go quietly confident. You know you want to.
2-2.
2-2
2-2.
3-0.
to Barcelona.
Yeah.
At the Etihad.
Yeah.
That will be quite funny, but I'm not going to agree with you. I think it's going to be.
I was quite
I can
confident last time and paid the price for that, didn't I?
I can still, to be honest, I can still see you losing. I can very much see why you might win, but I can still see you losing. I think it's going to be more like 2-1 to Barcelona.
I wouldn't be
Messi to score.
distraught if that happened. But if it's another like 3-0, 4-0,
Where
that
does
would
that
be
put
that
you
would
in the
be
group? If you are you
still second, I think, depending
Still
on the Borussia Mönchengladbach. Celtic
because obviously
score.
if you lose again, you it's a bigger issue.
Well, yeah, you're risking not
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
qualifying.
that's if we drop points against Mönchengladbach and Celtic.
Well, you've done that already.
Well,
Well,
yeah, but
not-
Celtic was away from home. At home to Celtic, I think
Yeah,
it'll be
you've
very
gotta-
different
you've
to
gotta-
away
yeah.
than away from home. I mean, we could easily drop points, so we could be at risk, but I don't really think it's that much of an issue.
Shall we do some quick score predictions for the next 3 games?
For the next 3 games. So, Man City versus Middlesbrough. Obviously, depending now on how tomorrow night goes.
I'm going to go for 3-1 to Man City.
I'm going to say 1-0 to City.
Okay.
Because I think Arsenal struggled at home against the Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I think they're a good side.
They're a good side, and
I
think people tend to underestimate them.
Just like
so I think they'll frustrate City, but they'll get through there eventually. So, it's a big game, Saturday 3 o'clock. They're all big games now. Liverpool-Watford, Sunday, 2:15, live on Sky Sports.
2-2.
2-2.
I'm going to say...
I'm sorry, I fancy us to beat Watford. I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool
I'd
because we never keep a clean sheet.
Well. That's what
3, maybe 4. Fancy us own to a side like that, really. I think we've got to be going out. It's another game where you go, well, really, if Liverpool are serious about challenging for a title, we've got to win that game, so I think we will.
I hope next week I'm right. I'm going to be buzzing.
And the big game...
The big game.
The big
highlighted
one this
here,
week.
Big game.
Friday night, 7:45, under the lights at Griffin Park.
Sky Sports.
Brentford versus Fulham. Joe,
TV money.
take it away.
3-1
to Fulham.
No.
Down the bees.
Every time.
Down. What do we do with them? Down.
Down them.
Every time we play Fulham, it's always a big game. The last 3 games were 4-1, 2-2, and 3-0. So I reckon 3-1 to Brentford. We this season we're scoring quite a lot of goals as well, but we're always sort of conceding. As you can see,
You lost to Barnes though, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. But then we also beat Reading 4-1 and Preston 5-0. And Preston had a decent run of form. I think they got beat the other day actually. But
You got beat to Newcastle.
Yeah.
But it's Newcastle. Newcastle's just going to walk the league.
exactly.
So
on Saturday, Fulham beat Huddersfield 5-0.
yeah, really.
So
Okay.
that's the only thing that's worrying me at the moment. But hopefully we'll crack on. We'll get 3 goals. Scott Hogan will get back on the score sheet. I'll be buzzing. You'll be buzzing. You'll be buzzing.
Them bees will be buzzing.
Oh, exactly.
Like bees.
John, score prediction.
2-1 Brentford.
Yes.
To keep Joe happy.
I'm gonna annoy Joe and say a 1-1 draw.
Boo.
That's not what happens in a West London derby, Ben.
It happened in the Red Monday. So
Exactly, but
possible.
it's completely different.
If it can happen in Red
different
Monday,
in
it can happen
It
anywhere.
happened in the middle of the derby yesterday. Just want to highlight. But I think Brentford will win.
Alright, yeah, okay. Alright, okay, I'll do you a favour.
Okay, fine.
I'll
Brentford 5-0.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, fine. No, I'll go 1-0 Brentford. I'll go with a low scoring game because I think it'll be a tight one.
I think I both went against you and you've all gone for me, so which is very nice for you.
Yeah, screw you.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
You didn't go against us. You
Bitter.
bitter, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't go against you. Oh yeah, I did for
You did.
Barcelona.
Yeah, you did.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, thanks very much, gents. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure.
We'll be back next week with all the reactions to those games. Build up to week 11 of the Premier League. No, week 12 of the Premier League. This is now week 11. Oh God, are we 11 weeks into the league already? Good God.
It's flying, isn't it?
It is absolutely flying. We'll be at Christmas before we know it. Thanks very much for listening. See you next week.
Goodbye.